back to Reading the Lists, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad, and in this episode we'll be continuing on our top 10 holiday movies, and in this episode we'll be discussing two movies. We'll be discussing number 5, which is Shop Around the Corner, and number 4, which is Elf.
All right, so number 5, Shop Around the Corner, released in 1940, directed by Ernst Lubitsch, starring Margaret Sullivan and James Stewart. This is basically a Christmas story, love story. It's such a good movie that it appears on our AFI 100 Years, 100 Passions list as number 28.
So we'll be discussing it in further detail there. We'll just kind of give real broad strokes here, which is why we're doubling this up with another movie. This one's really good. Some of you have maybe seen You've Got Mail, the 1998 movie that stars Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. It is a kind of a remake of this movie.
A modern remake, really.
It's a modern-ish remake.
Yeah.
The difference really is in this movie, in Shop Around the Corner, the two people work together. They've been like corresponding.
They're like pen pals.
They're like pen pals, and they're kind of, falling for the person on the other end of the letter. But they work together. In You've Got Mail, they're rival businesses. Like, he runs basically like a Borders kind of organization, and she runs a little bookstore.
Yes.
And they've been corresponding through email rather than the the written word, so to speak. So essentially it's the same thing. They kind of, in public, they really don't like each other, but privately they're falling for each other. And then when they kind of realize that that's what happens, they kind of have to get past all of their stuff. That's essentially the story in both of those movies in a nutshell. Like I said, we'll discuss Shop Around the Corner in greater detail.
We both really liked it, though.
Both did like it.
And it's debatable whether it's a Christmas movie or not. But anyway.
It's very loosely Christmas based.
So we'll talk about it in a couple weeks. You'll see that recording.
Yeah, it's number 28, and we're
at number 34.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I'll be releasing 34, I think, next week.
Yeah, so it's coming up pretty quickly here. We'll be discussing it probably sometime in probably early February, I guess.
Yeah. So that's number 5, Shop Around the Corner. So our number 4 movie is Elf. So Elf was released in 2003, directed by Jon Favreau, starring Will Ferrell and James Caan, Bob Newhart, and Zooey Deschanel. The IMDb synopsis is as follows. Raised as an oversized elf, Buddy travels from the North Pole to New York City to meet his biological father, Walter Hobbs, who doesn't know he exists and is in desperate need of some Christmas spirit.
Yeah, this movie is very, very funny.
It's hilarious.
There's a lot. I mean, if you like Will Ferrell, you're really, really going to like this movie. It does a lot of really funny stuff. So on the one hand, this is a fish out of water movie. You've got, he's never been in modern society. He's a human, but he's been raised by elves. And like everyone in Santa's workshop kind of plays along with it. They all know.
Yeah, like obviously he's not from there.
He's an absolute innocent. I mean, and
it's so good.
And you've got someone like Will Ferrell is super tall, so that even plays into it even more. There's all kinds of awkward, funny stuff that happens with him. And then like the thing that like makes me laugh the most is like, when he's traveling through the North Pole, it's basically like a Rankin Bass movie. Like Frosty the Snowman.
Oh yeah, the classics.
So that's always like super funny. Like when he's like traveling through that, they use that stuff. And then he basically everyone he comes across in modern society is a little bit jaded.
Well, I mean, they're not working in Santa's,
right,
workshop
right.
for the most of their lives.
And he kind of, discovers that, things aren't exactly what they seem. It takes him a bit because he's very naive.
Yeah, very naive. He's just like a little child.
I mean, he's basically like a 3-year-old.
Yeah. But it's funny. There's a little romance with it with Zoe Deschanel. She's like one of the Santa's helpers in the mall or where department store that Elf gets or what's his name? Buddy. That Buddy gets a job at. So they kind of have this like romance going on.
And he's just like he's just like really, really like sweet. And she just kind of.
It really reminds me of Tom Hanks's performance in Big.
Yes, it's quite a bit like that.
Yeah, because it's like, he's kind of a grown-up child. Yeah. So, what else? It's really rememberable, right? Like,
it's got a lot of great lines.
A lot of great lines.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Yeah.
Santa, I know him.
Santa, I know him. Like, there's a lot of things that are funny about this movie. I think it's one of those ones that's going to stand the test of time going forward. And it's a sweet movie. It's about, rekindling family and having Christmas spirit. And, it's a fun time.
And it's kind of, if I'm not mistaken, the producer on this one is Peter Billingsley, who plays Ralphie in The Christmas Story.
Oh, wow.
He executive produces a lot of Jon Favreau's stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Are they friends or what?
I think they are, but yeah, he's been producing for a long time, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the producers on this movie.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny because of, for many people that are in Gen X, A Christmas Story, which will be potentially
maybe on this list a little further down.
On this list. For a lot of us, it's kind of the quintessential Christmas movie from our generation. So,
yeah.
But just kind of a funny thing that he's involved in more than one Christmas movie. There's a lot of really funny stuff in this. James Caan is really, really funny in this movie. He kind of plays that gruff kind of character he plays in a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. It's very reminiscent of like a lot of his like performances from like the 70s, and he's Buddy's biological father, which is kind of hilarious.
And I honestly think that this is one of Will Ferrell's best performances.
Yeah, we get a really funny, it's not a huge role, but we get a really funny performance from Peter Dinklage in this one too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He plays this children's author that Buddy kind of comes across, and Buddy, obviously Peter
innocently.
Peter Dinklage is a little person, so Buddy makes some cracks about that, which don't go over well, even though he's that's all he's known is like elves, so he thinks this guy is an elf, and there's just some really funny stuff. It's great.
If you have not seen Elf, I highly, highly recommend it. It's really funny. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's got a good heart.
It's family friendly. If you really like, I noticed that a lot of people I know, you're either a Will Ferrell fan or you're not.
For me, like, I have my moments with him. Like, he can be a little bit too much at times.
Oh God, I love him.
But like, I love him in Anchorman. He's great in this one.
He's great. What about Step Brothers?
Step Brothers is pretty dark.
It's dark, but he is hilarious. And, Talladega Nights. I love Talladega Nights. And, I mean, come on. Like, he's really great.
He had like a 6-year period where he was kind of
old school.
Top of the world in a lot of really, really great stuff. And this falls into that time period. Yeah,
he's really good. Anyway, let us know what you think about Elf. Do you like it? Do you love it? Are you a Will Ferrell fan? Are you not? Anyway, let us know in the comments. If you'd like to email us directly, I don't know what our dogs are doing right now. If you would like to email us directly, please do at ratingthelist@gmail.com. But for now, that's it. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad.
And we're rating the list. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.